locking of what here? Locking of numbers in Excel. Now, assuming, ladies and gentlemen, I have a price here and I have quantity. Okay, so price here, assuming the price here is 23, 24, 26 could be prices for various years, maybe 27, like that. Quantity sold, in this case here we have 4,500. We have 5,000. We have 5,002. We have 6,007. Now, so somebody would want to come here and get revenue for us. Revenue. So is there somebody who can tell me the formula for getting revenue? What do you think shall I do to get revenue here? What do you think shall I do to get revenue? Somebody who is able to remember their management accounting. Somebody who is able to remember their quantitative techniques. To get revenue, we normally take price times quantity. Price times quantity. And this is exactly what I shall do here. So I'll come in this case, the first price here is 23. So I'll come and say 23 times who? Times 4,500. 23 times 4,500. And then here, I will not just do your normal enter, because if I say enter, then I will have, of course, the correct answer there. But at the end of the day, I will have this cell down here being highlighted. So if I say just enter like that, you can see what is happening. I'm getting 103,500, but the cell which is being highlighted is lower, the second cell down there. In this case, if I'm the one doing this, I'll simply come and say equals. I take the price, and then I say times this quantity here. And then I'll do what we call like how you control the ball, right? You just control the ball moving up around, but at the end of the day, the ball is at the same position. So I'll do what we call a controlled enter. So control, I'm holding on to control down, and then I press enter. So you can see it has given me an answer, but at the end of the day, it is the same cell that is being what here highlighted. It is the same cell which is being highlighted. So then once I do that, I will be able to come here and double click this. I'll be able to put here my angry rabbit, this small cursor, angry rabbit there, put there and double click. Once I do that, I'll be able to get all the answers. So is there somebody who has been able to do exactly that? Is there somebody who has been able to do exactly that? Who has been able to do exactly that? Only one person. I can repeat again. I can repeat again. So what have I done? To get revenue, I've taken the price, which is 23, times this quantity, which is 4,500. And I control my ball within the same location. All right. I could make body movements, but I want the ball to be at the same position. So I do a controlled enter. Once I do that, I'll come and put my angry rabbit. Remember, I've got two types of rabbits. I have the white rabbit, and there is the angry rabbit, which should be caged. Put onto this small dot here. Once you put it this small dot, then you'll be able to say double click. You hit twice or you drag down. You double click like that. When you double click like that, then you're able to get the new answers. So is there somebody who has been able to do that in the Excel? Anybody who has been able to do that in the Excel? They're not talking to me this morning. They're not talking to me this morning. Great. Great. Now, that's not what I wanted to teach you here today. What I wanted to teach you here today is this situation where now you have price, all right, and then you have quantity here, all right? So in this case here, the price is 10, 10, 10. Price is ever constant, like that. But quantity is fluctuating. So for example, 53 or 54, 45, 67, we have 78, like that. So I would want to come here and create a column for revenue. And this column that I'm creating here, I'm coming and picking the price there, which is 10. I say times the quantity here. Then I do the control enter. All right. Control enter. So I know the first one will be 54, 540, I mean. The second one will be 450 because it's 10 times 45. So when I come here and double click there like that, I'm able to get those things. So I pause a little bit and ask again whether we are here, all of us, whether we'll be able to do this. All right. Now in financial modeling, a figure that is constant, you can't handle it like that. If a figure is constant like this, 10, 10, 10, in financial modeling, you will not be given this figure. In financial modeling, you won't be given that figure. What will happen is this. They'll come around here, and then they'll give you price is 10. Because now price is constant moving down. So then what I'll do, because I've only been given one price, which is constant regardless of the quantity. So what I'll do, I'll come and say equals, I'll pick the normal price, which is 10. I say times 54. Then I'll be able to control my ball, control enter. Once I control like that, then I'll be able to come and put this angry rabbit here and double click it. I cannot be right. I'll be wrong. I can't be right there. I'll be wrong. Why? Because remember, when I give this Excel the free for command, Excel basically will be moving one down the line. Excel always, it has been programmed like that to move one down the line. Move one down the line. All right. So as in, it took Finear 10 times 54. But in the second category, it went one step down. So it took 45 here times the second step, 10. All right. No, the second one is supposed to be, it took in this case, let me tell you what it took. Because you are taken, anyway, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it is moving one step down. One step what here at a time. One step at a time. So the second one, it must have taken this 10. You see the second cell is this revenue. So it took this 45 times revenue. So it took the second one here and the second one here. That's why it's getting an error. In the third one, look at what it did. After this 45, it must have gone to 67. After this revenue, it went to 540. So it took 67 times 540, right? Getting 36, like that. So it went here, took 78 times this value, got an error like that. We don't want to have this kind of a situation. Ladies and gentlemen, if I say there Control Z, this is what I should have done. I should have come and said here equals, pick the price, but you see, this price is going to be used down consistently. I would want this price here to be my anchor, like an anchor tenant. So if I want to anchor it, the best way is to come and press F4. When I press F4, I'm able to see the dollar signs coming before L and before 19. I've done what we call a full anchorage. I've anchored this fully. So why am I anchoring 10 fully? It's because 10 is a constant. It's going to be used down throughout. So then I will come here and let's say shift times the quantity there, which is 54. And then I should be able to say Control Enter. Now, because this 10, ladies and gentlemen, is the constant, it has been fully anchored. What I need to do is to come here and now double click. So it was fully anchored. So it has been utilized down throughout. If, for example, I come and press this figure here, 450, I can see the formula here. The anchored cell has been used times K22 here. Actually, if I say F2, to just show the formula there, you can see what it has done. It has taken 40, or rather it has taken this blue, which is anchor times K22, which is the red cell here. If I go down one step, if I go down one step, if I come here, ladies and gentlemen, you can see it has taken this blue, the blue one does not move, times K23, and so forth, and so forth. So at this level, because you're doing a financial modeling course, it will be very important for me to, again, repeat that we have to know how to anchor constants. How do we anchor constants? That is a very important concept. Because, I mean, you're going to get very many constants as we move along. You're going to get fixed costs, which don't change. If a number doesn't change, it will not be written down throughout. If it doesn't change, then we must know how to anchor using F4. There's some computers whose F4 don't work. If you have that kind of a computer, then what you need to do is to use function. You press function first, and then you say F4. You press function first, Fn, it's near control. It's near control, and then you say F4. So I don't know whether up to there is anybody who has a question. Up to here, is there anybody who has a question? Up to here, is there anybody who has a question? F4. I'm so sure there are some computers without F4. All right. So then if you allow me, I'll be able to move a step further. Why do you use Control Shift? Yes, Shift alone is okay. Are you talking about Control? Is it when I'm using F4? When I'm using F4, actually, I don't use Control Shift. Is it when I'm getting the total answer? Let me just see here. When I'm getting this, if I say equals, I'll come and pick the price, which is 10 there, times, assuming it's not about fixing, anchoring you're talking about, times this 54. So once I've been able to multiply like that, I can't say Control Shift. I'm simply saying Control Enter directly. It's not Control Shift. Control Enter directly. For me to have in this case the ball. The ball is this. The ball is this highlighted cell. Highlighted cell. I don't say Control Shift. Okay. So then I would want to move to a second step, which is now partial anchorage, partial locking of cells. Assuming I've got 1, 2, and I would want to highlight these 2 cells, which I'll come and use to pull this all the way to 9. Up to there, release. One, I'm writing a sequence and a series. There's another shortcut, which I'll be showing you, but not today. I don't want to show you so many shortcuts today. So you simply come and highlight the 2, and then you should be able to basically take this down up to where you see 9. So I want all of us to make this kind of a table, please. So have we been able to do that? Have we been able to do that? Okay, great. Now, this is going to give us what we call a multiplication table. For those of you who are old enough, when you were going to your primary schools, just like myself, we used to carry some Kasuku books. At the back of those books, we used to have a multiplication table that used to give us multiplications between these numbers running 1 up to 9. Do we have anybody who went to school here during the Kasuku days? Those Kasuku books, exercise books, which used to have some multiplication table at the back. Anybody who went to school during those days? The Kasuku days, Kasuku days. I think it's only one student amongst all this. Means most of us must really be very young here. Most of us must really be very young here. All right. So come, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to make a multiplication table out of this. How do we make a multiplication table? It's very easy. I will come and for example, I want to multiply 1 with 1. So I'll come and say 1 times this 1 here. No. What am I doing? It's supposed to be equals. Then I pick this 1 times this 1. So you can see 1 is in blue, the other one is in red. That's how Excel is able to tell you the two values that you are highlighting. Great. Great. Ladies and gentlemen, I would want to use the power of Excel. If, for example, I'll come and do a controlled enter, I'll get 1 there, which is very good. But if I do like that, then I'll not be able to have the power to really, in this case here, pull, the power to highlight, the power to drag. So if I try dragging down it like this, what is happening? Useless things. What is the problem? It's because I did not anchor. Because if I come and, for example, see what multiple is this, see Excel will always highlight for you. If I say F2, Excel will tell me, hey, look at the 2 cells you've multiplied. It went down 1 step to 2. It went down 1 step to 1 here. So it took Q3 and R12. You can see the red. If I come and ask it here, how about this one here? This one, if I say F2, it took, in this case, the blue one, Q17. Excel will always go when you are highlighting, when you're in this case here, ladies and gentlemen, when you're dragging down or across, Excel will always move down 1 step like that. I would want to anchor this thing. And for me to anchor this thing very well, ladies and gentlemen, what I would want to do is to come and do a very nice anchorage here. I would want to repeat this again. So what I'll do, I'll come and pick this one. All right. When I pick this one, I can see it is Q12. And this Q is a funny Q. The Q here is a funny Q, this Q. It is a title column. I would want, as I move along with my multiplications on the table, I would want the numbers in the Q to be held up, to be anchored. All right. Now, in this case here, can I use F4? Excel wants a lot of trying and making errors. Let me try using F4 like that. So I want to anchor that one so that this one will always be referenced to. Because I want to talk about 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3. So this one to be held there. So then I come and say here times this one. And because when I'm moving down, I would want to be saying 1 times 1, 1 times 2, 1 times 3. I would also want this one to be anchored. Let me, as a stupid man, let me use F4 like that. And then I say Control, Enter. Can somebody in this case here, somebody guess What do you think will happen when I start pulling this thing down? When I start in this case here, dragging down and moving across, what do you think will happen? And somebody in this case here, somebody who can guess for us. Yeah, 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 yeah. I ended up getting 1-1 throughout. You can see 1-1 throughout. Because it's making reference to this 1 times 1, 1 time. Or it doesn't regardless where you move. It's going to 1 by 1, regardless of how we move. It's going back to 1 by 1. So if I say Control Z, I'm getting back here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen. When I say equals, and I'm able to say here, I'm picking this one here, 1. Then something will remind me, hey, it is not this 12. You know, this Q12, this is the position. You can see it is Q here versus this 12 here, right? It's column Q versus row 12. What I would want anchored is column Q alone, because column Q is the title. Along the row 12, I would want my thing to move, because I'll be talking of 1 times 1. 1 times, you're going to see in the row 12 here, row 12, I would want these row 12 numbers to change. So it is only after Q, after equals, before Q, I need to come and anchor Q alone. For me to anchor this Q alone, I'll come and put a $sign on it, a $sign on it, a $sign before it. So I'll come and anchor it alone, which is Q, like that. All right. And then I'll come and continue with my journey. Come and put a times here. Come and put a times there. This one there. Now, can somebody tell me for this one here, you can see it is R11. It is this R and 11 as a row. And it is 11, which is what here, which is title. This 11. This 11 is constant. Because I would want as I move down, I would want this row number 11, which is the title row. You see, I've got 2 rows, which are, or rather 2 items that are titles here. I have Q vis-a-vis what here, vis-a-vis 11. Q is a title column and 11 is a title row. So because 11 is a title row, I need to come before 11. Before 11, I put a $. Before 11, shift 4. I put a $, like that. And then I play my ball, Control Enter. When I play my ball nicely, I'll come and drag this down. And then I'll come and drag this across to get a 1. All right. There we are. So here what I've done, instead of anchoring the whole cell, I've anchored a row stroke a column differently. Like here I anchored column Q. That is a partial anchorage. Quite some difficult stuff there. But before I repeat, just go an extra mile. And do it. Even if you get 111 across, you get whatever number that's across, so long as you've tried, then it'll be very easy for me to guide you, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be very easy for me to guide you. Just let me know once you complete trying there. Yeah, just trying alone, and then I'll be able to repeat. Just try. When you don't get it, so long as you've tried, it'll be really nice. Susan Irongo has been able to do it. Yeah, F4, 3 CE. Yeah, and then you keep on repeating like that. F4. Okay, so then I'll be able to come and repeat again, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be able to come here. Say equals. So I'll be able to pick here. This one here. I want to anchor something, and somebody is saying you can use F4. When you click there F4, you can see it's highlighting the whole of it, but I only want to highlight one. So I'll have to click F4 again. I can see I've highlighted the wrong one, which is 12. So if you're using this method, you keep on clicking F4 several until you get the correct one. Most students don't like it that way. What most students like, simply show them, like you're saying here, equals, pick that one. I want this Q to be anchored. I want this Q to be anchored. So come and put your cursor there, $, times this one. But now here, I know the entire row, this entire row is an anchor row. It's supposed to be anchored row only. So I have to come to row number 11, and then I do the anchorage nicely. I say $, there. And then I'll be able to say Control, Enter. Like that, and then I'll be able to move around my tape like that. Move around my tape like that. All right. So you can see now 9 times 9, here 9 times 9 is 81. Is 81. So then are we able to get this, all of us? Are we able to get now the final answer there as 81, all of us? All right. And then remember, most importantly, it is the concept behind, because I would want to teach you guys to a level where you become great in financial modeling. It is the concept behind. You're not cramming. You must know why we're locking this and we are not locking the other one. It's very, very important. Very important. Now then, if that is understood somehow, I would want us to do the last concept of the day, which is what we call the VLOOKUP. The VLOOKUP. I would want you to go to that particular big table of ours called RCM Updated Sheet 4 and look for this worksheet called VLOOKUP. Once you get it, are you guys able to put your thumbs up there? Say, hey, I have it. Hey, I have it. Hey, I have it. Great. Catherine already has it. Great. Great. Great, great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then I'll be able to move very fast here and come there. So here I am. I know most of you guys love football. Most of you here love football. And I'm so sure that when I mention these teams, to some of you, of course, some of us like myself, these names may not make any sense at all. Because to be honest with you, since I was born, I've never watched any football match. Unfortunately, my madam loves football. And at times she tells me, Mwalimu, today we're not watching football in the house. We have to go out there and watch football. So you can imagine this kind of now a man who does not like watching football being taken over. I mean, quite sad. But I'm so sure I'm the only one who doesn't love football. All of you here must be loving football. So you must have heard of Borussia. Somebody told me some time back, hey, it's Borussia, is it Dortmund or something like that? People even know second names. Milan, Manchester United, Hamburger, we have Lazio, Fiorentina, Bayern, Liverpool, Arsenal. I'm so sure even my pronunciations of these teams may not be very good, but we shall overcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this has happened to me. One day it will happen to you. It will happen to you as well. You will go to an interview where you'll be given a very big worksheet, one that has got like even 20,000 rows. And then these guys would want you to look for a certain, just one team. They'll tell you out of this, and they'll tell you the team that you love. Of course, during the interview, they'll first of all ask you about simple questions like, which team do you support? All right. And again, if you go to an interview and you're asked about like a team you support, and for sure, you're like myself, you know nothing about football, don't just for the sake of it go there and tell them that you support Arsenal. What if they ask information about a particular player? That is when you start, in this case, you're smiling sheepishly. All right. You'd rather tell them, since I was born, I've never watched any game. I don't like what your football, but there are games that I like myself, I play lots of basketball. I play lots of table tennis. All right. All right. So if they come and tell you, hey, look for a certain team, like now you can see here, they've told me to look for a team called Borussia, or rather Lazio. So they want me to give them a team called Lazio. So what I'll do very fast is to come and copy the column titles and write the team that they want me to look for. So they want me to look for Lazio. So once I've done that, what I'll do, I'll come and say equals. Of course, for us, we already have that arrangement. So equals. So this for sure, Lazio is among these teams here, which are arranged vertically, You can see this is a vertical. We have horizontal and vertical. These are vertical arrangements, a columnar arrangement. And if it's a vertical arrangement, then I'm going to use a VLOOKUP function. So I'll come and say VLOOKUP. I can see it is here. The next one they want me to pick is the lookup value, which is Lazio. But you see, this Lazio is part of column H. Column H is an anchor column. It will never move. But because I would want this thing to be moving row-wise, I can't use F4. So because I would only want to anchor H as a column, I'll just move behind here before H and anchor it alone. So $Shift4 like that. And ladies and gentlemen, you'll come here, you're following this. So come here and say comma. So after that, lookup value is the item I'm looking for. I'm looking for Lazio team. From there, they want me to give them the table array. So the table array, ladies and gentlemen, is here. The table array is here. What I need to do is to come and highlight this entire table. So for now, you can just highlight this manually. Before you get to know the shortcuts of highlighting, you can highlight manually. And all table arrays, in financial modeling, all table arrays will always be fully anchored. So table array, full anchorage means that you press F4. From there, ladies and gentlemen, comma. They want, after table array, they want a column index number. So the column index, you are in column 2. We are looking up for the country of Lazio. Remember, column 1 is where Lazio is. The item, the information that I would want to return here is information about country. And the country, in terms of column indexation, it's column number 2, because these columns, we count them 1, 2, like that. So from here, 1, 2. So this is column number 2. Then I'll come and say comma. Once I say comma, then I'll be able to go to what we call the range lookup. So is this an approximate match or an exact match? Ladies and gentlemen, for us here, unless you're told otherwise, we are not people who go for approximations. We shall always go for exact match. Exact match. So that I'll be able to come and pull this exact match, which is of course false. I don't want a range. I don't want a range. So that I'll be able to come here and close my bracket. Then I'll be able to control my ball, and I press enter there. Control enter. Now please listen. I'm getting here that Lazio is an Italian team. And I can come back there and press F2 and even delete it. And start again. Equals VLOOKUP. Then we have the lookup value, which is Lazio. This Lazio column H is a title column. It has to be highlighted. So shift there, $. And then you'll come, ladies and gentlemen, and do what here? Lookup value. So the next thing is table array. So table array, I'll come here and highlight the whole of this. Remember, table array has to be fully anchored, F4, comma. After that, we have the column indexation. Column is what information do you want to return? When I'm doing this lookup formula, it is under country. And the country is column number 2. Then we say comma. When we talk about range lookup, because we don't want any range, you know, range is like, for example, 1 to 10 or whatever. We don't want any range. Instead of going to write exact match, whatever, we always write 0. We always write 0 because you want this to be no range at all. We want, in this case here, Lazio as a team. If Lazio is not available, we don't want approximations. We want, in this case here, 0 approximations. So write 0 there, and then you close your bracket. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to come and say Control Enter. So we want to know whether there is anybody who has been able to write up to here. Is there anybody who has been able to write up to here? And by the way, these videos are in your learning management system. Have you been able to watch those videos in the learning management system? Is there anybody who has been able to watch those videos in the learning management system? If I were you, and I happen to be having the time, because I always get some of you even calling me at 5, like when I was away. Over there is a big problem with internet. I mean, if I were you, I would just get into those LMS videos and watch all of them, finish this course. So that when we come here, one of them is just to talk about a few things here and there, and then we close it up. Of course, I know there is the importance of being guided as well, but trust you me, those videos are self-explanatory. I would want to do this course, of course, for a longer time with you, but that notwithstanding, it will not be adding value if I'll be coming to teach you things that are in your LMS. I should be teaching you very practical things. Like now, this is very basic. I should not be teaching you this. So is there somebody who is utilizing their LMS videos? Okay, started, okay. Please ensure that you are watching. Ensure that you're watching. So that not even till January, I will give you those videos like for 2 months. For 2 months, continue watching them until you become experts. Until you become experts, I would want everybody really to become an expert in Excel. Excel is a very, very good course. And unfortunately, most of us, even myself, before I went to where I work, I used to think that I was a champion of Excel. There'll always be something new to learn in Excel, especially for accounting functions, because at the end of the day, we'll be doing this course and saying, I mean, what are the 10 key functions a CFO must be using every other day at their workplaces? We should be able to do that summary and say, these are the key ones. Like the lookup functions, you can't tell me that you are a chief finance officer or a finance manager and you don't know VLOOKUP, how to use it very well. All right, how to use it very well. So please ensure, like if it's over lunch hour, VLOOKUP shortcut. Are you not able to see it, Joyce? VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. Once you start, in this case here, typing, Joyce, there equals. When you start saying VLOOKUP, it will come up straight away. And then now lookup value, Lazio, come and put here. We have the dollar sign. And then come here. So we have the table array. Table array is this. This is the table array. It has to be fully locked, F4, comma. Then we have, next is the column index 2, comma. Next we have 0 there. 0 like that. So control, enter. And then I should be able to come and pull this, drag it, copy across. So it's giving me Italy, Italy, Italy. And I know I'm not foolish. Why is this giving me Italy throughout? It's because of the column. If I come and, ladies and gentlemen, click on this third column J, no, column J is supposed to be column 3. If I click here, and for example, say F2, I can even see from the formula bar, you can see it is still reading there 2, and yet it's supposed to be 3. Even this one here is supposed to be 4. But because I copied across, you can see it is reading 2. So I need to come here and delete this, say 4, like that. This is saying, ladies and gentlemen, here, Italy 2. You can see the column here never changes. So you have to change it manually. So come and say there 5. All right. So in that case here, we've been able to return all the information about Lazio. Italy, no, 3856. All right. All right. All right. All right. Yes, there is quite a lot to be learned, Grace. Great. Even if you get somebody doing it the way I'm doing it here, that's a person who does not know Excel. If you know Excel very well, what you need to do is to come and do like this. Please allow Mwalimu to start from scratch here. I'll be repeating several until you guys are comfortable. So this is what I would want you to be doing here. Come and say equals. You say VLOOKUP. Lookup value is Lazio, log H, dollar, comma, table array, normal, this one here. I can copy this using Control Shift, right arrow. I'm still holding on my Control Shift, down arrow to be able to copy very well, easily. The table array must always be F4, comma. Now, when I come to column indices, I have many column indices from column 2, 3, 4, 5. So because there are many, I would want to put them inside a bracelet bracket. So let's say in this case here, shift, there is this bracket that is brace-like, brace, B-R-A-C-E, brace. It's very useful whenever you've got many columns. Instead of writing one column at a time, you want to combine everything. So then inside your brace, you want column 2, comma, column 3, comma, column 4, comma, up to column 5. Close it up using your brace. After you finish, you come and say comma there, and then true, false, you want 0. Close now the bracket normally, no more bracket. No more bracket. Then when you say enter, you can see what is happening there. It's giving you all answers directly. So of you changing those columns like that. And now the good thing, if you come and ask about a different team, like I'm so sure there must be some guys here who belong to Arsenal. Arsenal. When you ask me about Arsenal, because already now I have my formula well set, I'll only come and copy this information down. And you can see now it's giving me Arsenal is an England team, yes, 38.79. And I can even automate this. Can automate this. I'll be able to show these interviewers that I am the king of the jungle. I can come and automate. So next I'll tell them, you guys tell me which other team do you want? They'll come and tell me that they want something to do with Milan. I'll write here, Milan. Milan. Make sure they don't miss a spelling. If you write correctly, it's turning automatically. Which other one? And then they'll say you are a genius. Fiorentina. If you miss on a spelling, unfortunately, you get nothing like that. So can I get one of you sharing your screen and then we see whether you're together? Can I get one of you sharing their screen and then we get to see whether we are together? Joyce, it's because you're pressing F4. I'll repeat there, it's because you're pressing F4. You should just go before H and put the dollar. If you go before H, immediately after equals, and then you press Shift 4. It will not lock both. It can't lock both. It's locking both H and 4 because you're using F4. It's a concept you never understood very well, Joyce, but please at your own time also try to watch this same video. You'll be able to pick that information very fast. But again, I'll repeat here before we move on. But before I repeat, I would want somebody in this case here to take a step of faith and share their screen, even if you don't get it right. So what? So what? So what? Thank you, Alpha. Now we are doing this together, Alpha. Thank you. Go there, yes, equals. It's a vertical lookup. So lookup value is that Lazio. Now there, go back to where H is, before H. So don't press F4, you simply say Shift, dollar. Joyce, I hope you're following as well. Comma. A table array. Great, I can see you've used a shortcut. So F4 table array must always be F4. Thank you very much. Comma. Column index, it's country we want to return its information to. Or use the bracelet. Use the bracelet if you don't mind, because there are many. The bracelet bracket. Yeah. So you write there 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the last one. Then you close with the bracelet. Comma. False. You don't want the range. 0. Or you want to pick. You want to pick. Okay. And then now you, yeah, no. If you've done that, okay. So use the normal bracket to close. Use the normal bracket to close, and then now you can do a controlled enter. I know why yours Alpha never came. It's good. You've shared. It's because Alpha is not using an updated Excel. Alpha, this is not Excel 2021. Unfortunately, there are those Excel old versions that can't handle this stuff. Thanks for sharing, Alpha. Thanks for sharing, Alpha. You don't have the modern Excel. So Alpha, you have to do it the old way. So that's why I'm showing you the old way and the new way. All right. I can see where you went wrong. It's because you never used a very good. If you can just click where you have Lazio, where you have not Lazio, where you have the formula country. Let's start again. Let's just start again with the VLOOKUP. Let's start with the VLOOKUP. Escape. Okay, great. Equals VLOOKUP. Lazio is the lookup value. Lazio. So please hook H. Thank you. with a dollar shift. Continue the journey. So comma there. Table array, you have to move a bit left. Yes. All right. So you highlight everything there. You have used the manual way, no problem. F4. Right, comma. Comma. Now you want the brace. The braces bracket, you have to say shift and then you press bracket. You want the braces, not that one, not that bracket. That one cannot be right. There is a shift bracket, the braces. Como se le bresa menos. Just slowly, don't panic. We are here waiting for you to support. No, that's what the brace. If you press there, shift, and then the normal bracket, shift, the normal bracket, what is happening? Shift fast, shift fast, and then the normal bracket, then there must be a problem. Could you be using a MacBook? Are you using a MacBook? Are you using a MacBook? I just type somewhere there. Even within that, yes or no? Why for yes? I can't say you are typing no. Then you should be able, you see where you have your normal brackets. You see we have OP and then brackets, eh? All right. Don't press, in this case here, brackets directly. You have to press, in this case here, what they are, shift first. And then hold on to shift. Yes. It has to come that way, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the bracelet bracket. Great, comma. Oh, great. And then now you can close the normal with the normal bracket. You close the normal bracket. Close the normal. Great. Enter now. Got it. Now you can see you are good to go. Now everything is fine. Everything is fine. I love that. Now please go back to Italy. Put your cursor in the Italy. All right. And then I'll drag that a small rabbit down. You've learned something. Please ensure that you practice not tomorrow, but today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 exactly. I beg to disappear. It has been a pleasure hosting you in the morning. I'm looking forward to again teaching you tomorrow very early in the morning. And please market Mwalimu in your companies. I would want to come and train you people in your offices, etc. Be my champion outside there. Be my ambassador outside there. Great. Great. Bye. Great.